Então, como é que vocês estão? Tudo bem? Boa noite. Good evening. Uma sexta-feira à noite boa. I know, para de tocar no cabelo. You know what? I just saw myself on camera. Como é que estão? How is everybody doing? Everybody having a good Friday? Um fim de semana, não é? Está a começar. Que é sempre diferente porque temos, obviamente, nem toda a gente está em casa, nem toda a gente está a fazer quarentena, nem toda a gente está doente, muitas pessoas estão a fazer o seu dia a dia normal, como faziam antes, e outros estão em casa, como eu. Em casa é assim, hoje eu saí, fui ver a minha mãe, levá-la mais uns vídeos para ela ver, umas coisas assim interessantes. Fui levar por acaso um vídeo muito antigo, muito antigo, que o César fez, eu acho que foi em 80 e talvez 88, um dia na Graciosa, não sei se já viram. Mas se não viram, ele encontrou ainda umas cópias. Eu vou começar a pôr vídeos. Eu tenho até entrevistas que eu vou começar a pôr na minha página, que já não ponho há muito tempo, na minha página do YouTube, no meu canal do YouTube. Entrevistas que eu tenho feito através dos anos, porque isto são 33 anos a fazer televisão, tem muitas conversas com muita gente, especialmente muitas pessoas que já faleceram, também infelizmente, mas é assim a vida, não é? No dia que a gente nasce, a gente começamos já a ir até o dia que a gente vamos morrer. Não queremos começar começar a conversa dessa forma. Eu quero agradecer a todas as pessoas que estiveram com a gente no outro live, na quarta-feira, com as senhoras da cozinha, senhoras que enchem não só o nosso coração com a sua maneira que são, mas entram nos nossos corações através do nosso estômago, e eu estou já ligada, eu não vou ficar sem bateria hoje, garanto, não vou ficar sem bateria. Hoje tenho a bateria ligada, vai correr muito mais melhor bom. Já tenho. I gotta find another one, Caesar. So vai ser um live bom, mas agradeço a elas porque elas continuam assim. O que aconteceu foi que eu tinha visto que ia ficar sem bateria e depois vi, não tenho o carregador aqui, está no outro quarto. E eu devia ter posto em pé e buscar e vir a pôr a carregar, mas pensava que ia durar ainda mais algum tempo. Estava a tentar terminar quando se foi abaixo, mas elas estavam a continuar a conversa e eu pensava que se eu terminasse, se o Zoom fosse cancelado para mim, porque eu é que comecei, que também ia ser cancelado para elas. No way! Elas continuaram na conversa sempre a conversar. Foi muito giro, e ainda bem, foram as 3 mulheres corretas para estarem a fazer aquele live comigo, porque outras provavelmente não sabiam o que é que iam fazer a seguir, mas elas já souberam, tanto a Patrícia como a Clara e também como a Eduarda, foram fantásticas. Obrigada, não sei se elas estão a ver agora, mas foi mesmo um live muito giro, que eu gostei imenso. Já tem mais de 10 mil pessoas que viram aquele live, Eu hoje estive a ver um pouco de um live que tinha 20 pessoas a ver, well, cada um tem a audiência que merece, não é? É assim. Olha, hoje temos uma conversa extremamente bonita, interessantíssima, com duas jovens com muito talento, são fantásticas em tudo o que estão a fazer, tomaram conta do negócio da família depois do pai falecer, e vocês vão conhecer quem é, porque é uma história de um negócio da nossa comunidade que já está cá há 50 anos e que está a ser liderado agora por estas duas irmãs, que é excelente, absolutamente excelente. Não sei se vocês as conhecem, mas se não as conhecem, vão ficar a conhecer hoje, porque é esse o motivo aqui. É o motivo da minha conversa hoje. Eu tenho várias conversas planeadas para o mês de março com outras mulheres, lideranças de clubes, político, com outras mulheres que estão em negócios independentes, outras que têm assim empregos diferentes também, que não são do costume em título de mulher. Hello from Barry, Teresa Estrela Vieira de Barry está connosco. Tem aqui já 154 pessoas já connosco. That's not bad. Vamos continuar a crescer. Eu vou mostrar a vocês aqui um vídeo. Antes da gente começar mais, para vocês verem e terem conhecimento um pouco mais sobre... Primeiro vou-lá mostrar este, que é para vocês verem o que foi feito aqui para a gente. O que é que vocês acham? Pois, este é um pequenino vídeo de entrada para o nosso programa com as mulheres durante este mês de março. Uma abertura, a música é original minha, de uma canção que foi escrita pelo Daniel Carvalho. Também tem com voz, mas este foi só sem a voz, só mesmo a música. Fizemos isso por acaso foi até o Matthew é muito criativo, quando quer. Olá Eduarda está a ver connosco, obrigada. Olha Eduarda, eu não vou ficar sem bateria hoje, todas as senhoras. Olha, eu sabe o que aconteceu, quando fiquei sem a bateria, eu disse ok, isto terminou, eu saí daqui, eu fui para a sala, sentei-me, levei o telefone comigo, sentei-me e ia fazer uma mensagem às mulheres a dizer isso, e eu recebo um telefonema do César e ele disse, o que é que aconteceu? Elas ainda estão a falar e tu desapareceste. E eu, oh my god, e depois eu tentei vir para aqui para pôr tudo a ligar. Hello Lucy from Sarnia, my cousin, e quando cá cheguei já tinham terminado, so you like the video? Muito bem. Vou apresentar um pequenino vídeo, que é uma apresentação das minhas convidadas de hoje. Elas fizeram isto para celebrar os 50 anos da empresa. Uma história que vocês vão conhecer, a história do Liberal Jewellery. Boa noite, Ana Maria. Como é que tu estás? Muito bem. Yes, I'm sure, Eduardo, I'm sure. E antes delas chegarem cá, eu vou então pôr este vídeo para vocês verem que elas é que produziram isso para as suas redes sociais, para apresentar, homenagear os 50 anos do negócio. E vamos ver esse vídeo então, que tem muito a ver com a história do Liberal Jewellery. a história do Liberal Jewellery faz um pouco emocionada porque o senhor liberal era um excelente homem. Primeiro, eu sou liberal e o nome dele é um nome fantástico, um nome de família fantástico, mas ele era um homem muito, muito bom. Eu lembro de ter um escritório de uma campanha que eu fiz em 2003, mas abrimos o escritório em 2002, parece-me, e ele de vez em quando passava lá para o escritório para ter uma conversa comigo. Ali na Dandas. Foi muito interessante, uma pessoa que foi pioneiro em trazer tudo o que é de Portugal em termos de ourivesaria, de que eu saiba. Também havia outras ourivesarias já talvez na comunidade, mas em 1970 parece que o Sr. Liberal, se não foi o primeiro, deve ter sido um dos primeiros para abrir aquele negócio, a trazer o ouro de Portugal, tudo o que as pessoas estavam habituadas a comprar em São Miguel, nos Açores em particularmente, que ele é da ilha de São Miguel, mas não só, de Portugal em geral, e foi um grande pioneiro na comunidade, um homem de negócio que infelizmente em 2009, como viram na história, faleceu com um tumor de câncer no cérebro, e a família, a esposa, ela não está aqui connosco hoje, parece-me que não, só se ela me fizer uma surpresa, I would love that. E então as duas filhas, a Kim e a Raquel, também têm um filho, mas as filhas é que tomaram conta do negócio que o pai e a mãe deram início em 1970. E vocês vão ver que estas duas jovens são jovens muito dinâmicas, com grande energia, que estão a levar esta empresa para uma área diferente, um pouco diferente do que era, mas sempre mantendo as raízes e sempre mantendo a tradição e o bem servir na nossa comunidade. Vamos então conhecer a Kim e também a Raquel connosco. As duas, they're like models. Hello ladies.
Hi, how are you?
I am fine. I'm so glad to see you, two of you. That's fantastic. Thank you for agreeing to do this. Eu sei que vocês falam, compreendem português, falam algum português, mas não é só, ficam à vontade de falar o inglês e o português como vocês acham que vai ser melhor para se explicarem aqui no live. Já estive a mostrar o vídeo que vocês fizeram dos 50 anos da Liberal Jewellery e foi tão bonito ver aquelas fotografias do teu pai, porque toda a gente se lembra do...
I'm sure a lot of people remember those photos.
Absolutely. Ele é uma pessoa fantástica que infelizmente já não está connosco, mas a tradição e o negócio continua, não é?
Definitely. That's right.
Yeah.
50 years later, older than us.
How old were you when you took over? Well, how old was your father when he opened it up?
How old he was?
Yes, do you know?
He was in his early 40s, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. But it was way before we or my mom was even in the picture, definitely.
Yes, but 1970.
Exactly.
Yes, you guys were born in the 90s.
80s. Or 80s.
I know. 80s, but you look like, your mother looks like she was born in the 70s.
I agree. I agree too.
She looks fantastic. So how was the decision to continue and to take over the business of Liberal Jewellery, para dar continuação? Como é que foi feita essa decisão?
It wasn't actually just like a question on the table and a decision. It's been so natural to us because this is all we've known, and it's really what we love to do. We were blessed to have this already kind of set forth in our destiny. What girl doesn't love jewelry? Right?
Yes.
And so exactly. So, it was easy for us. It was an easy decision that wasn't necessarily something that we sat down and talked about. We've just known in our hearts that it was something that we want to do and we wanted to continue. Maybe a little bit differently than what he started off with, but we definitely wanted to continue.
But you went on to school, and so you were in school when your dad passed away. I think at that time in 2009.
Exactly. Yeah. Right.
So
we were
how
in
long?
school for different things.
Yeah, how long did it take before you were fully in charge? Because you went and studied business, right? What did you study?
I did business administration. And so I was already, I was 25 when he passed. So I was already deep into the business and kind of getting into, suppliers and orderings and starting my custom design that I do now. I mean, again, when did I start? I don't know. I think you asked me this years ago in an interview, and I said, "The blood."
You were born into it.
I was born into it.
You were born into it. How about Raquel? Raquel, were you always as much into it as Kim?
Well, I think Kim actually has the knack for it a lot more than I do. So I did a fine arts degree at U of T. And so I've always had a lot more of a creative flair to me. So I think when we started to use social media and we signed into Instagram, I think it was around 2014, around that time. It was really a nice way for me to kind of utilize those creative skills that I had. And obviously, like, social media is definitely a learning curve. So the more you do it, the more you kind of get a knack for it, especially now with like reels and all these like new things that are coming out. We're always being challenged, but we always try to make it a lot more interesting. Yeah.
How did the suppliers look at the two of you when you're after your dad's passing, and you were the ones that were fully in charge of making the decisions of the buying of the books of everything? How did they look at you? Did they question anything, or what was that like?
That's a very good question, considering the topic of these discussions being women-led businesses. The jewelry industry is predominantly led by males. And especially in Portugal, a lot of our suppliers are older, especially older men. So a couple of them we stopped working with more because the communication was hard. I mean, we're thinking more when we're buying, listen, most of our business is geared towards the female demographic. So when we're buying as if, like, for us, is the earring comfortable? Is this practical for every day? What would I wear with this? Is this look good on my skin tone? Having those conversations with certain males, it just doesn't, they don't absorb it.
It doesn't resonate the same way. I have to say, during our buying meetings, we're always the ones that are like, can we just try this on? Can we do that? And they're like, oh, of course, please do it. And they're not used to it. So we're like, we don't want to sell something that we don't think fits right, and gets that little extra perk in your step. So I feel like we have that touch that I think they've grown to admire and like.
Right. Because I don't know many of those older Portuguese men that even have their ears pierced where they can try on the earring. So that's how do they know it's comfortable? How can they sell it?
Well, we can tell them. So
that there you go. So that's and those that you sort of put apart because it was not easy to communicate with, have they come back and said, hey, can we get your business back?
A couple of them still knock on our door. But it's just, we're very fortunate to be in a position where we can choose who we want to work with. We're not a startup company, so we're not really knocking on a lot of people's doors. Like, we're very fortunate to have people approach us, which is we're so blessed to have that. And that's because of our dad and what he built, the foundation. And Absolutely. So we're riding this wave basically, but we're always looking to make new relationships with people. But, now it's really shifted. If we're going to work with somebody, branding is so key for us. So if a company has a strong branding, like one of the companies we work with is Eugênio Campos. They have a fantastic background. They have so many affiliates. So like for us to work with them, a lot of the work in the back end of it has been done. So for us, it's so easy. A lot of the suppliers we work with in Portugal, we're helping them and they're helping us. So it's a team effort from across the industry.
So you continued to make Portugal your biggest buying market.
Yes, definitely.
When you can go so many other countries in the world that do jewelry and that, why did you keep that part of the business going with the connections to Portugal?
Well, I think we choose to go that route just because I think our clientele know us specifically for that. And as much as we try to branch out and collect other pieces of jewelry from Italy or parts of Canada, which do really well for us as well, I think we do have a certain niche of clientele that looks to us for that Portuguese gold and sterling silver. And so that's kind of why we stick to it. And also just at the end of the day, like the quality is fantastic. Yeah. And so when you're trying to look at other competitors, they may not have the same quality that we're so used to having. And since we've been around for such a long time, like we know at this point what works for us and what works best for our business. So we've kind of stuck to the Portuguese.
Right. Your dad was, one of the first to bring those soccer rings, those very traditional Portuguese things from,
Benfica,
Sporting. So you could get them made specially for you. Is that something you still do there?
Yeah, we still have all the soccer club rings. We also have ones with the a bandeira de Portugal, a bandeira dos Açores. Exactly. So we still have that because we have people that ask for that. We always keep our traditional items, but Portuguese jewelry, it's just so beautiful. I mean, how could you sell it? So.
Yeah, absolutely. And Campos, what's his name again?
Eugenio.
He dresses, he puts jewelry on some of the top Portuguese television artists, stars. Very much so. So
we've communicated with Senhor Eugenio before. He is a wonderful person. He's very happy with what we're doing here. I mean, we're his only representative here in Canada.
Wow.
So and the brand just keeps on growing. It really does.
How has the jewelry business changed from 2009 to now? What's the biggest change in the jewelry business?
Hands down, social media. We're doing a lot of sales, especially this last year through social media. And so we have shifted into a lot of different gears throughout the years. So since 2009, gold prices always fluctuate. That's a given. That's going to happen. It's cyclical. But social media has definitely changed the game. You have to have a strong brand and you have to present it properly. And just, the buyer is more educated now. They know what they want because everything is at their fingertips. If they're not going to look, if they can't see what you're offering, they're just going to move on to the next. So you have to be able to present your merchandise in a beautiful way that makes them want to buy or makes them want to come in and visit your shop.
Absolutely. And, Raquel is just a proper model for all of these things. She's just fantastic. She really she's been for so many years anyway, even though just print before and now both print and social media. You're so good at that. That's fantastic. I've actually put together a little clip of you with different social media, showing yourself, showing the different jewelry. I'm going to put that so that people can have a chance to see that.
Yay!
Yeah, you did not know that, Raquel, but I've got you here. very creative.
Hey, bravo, Nellie.
Yeah, there you go. You weren't expecting that. Wow,
No.
I'll have one of each. Coisas tão bonitas e muito bem apresentadas, absolutamente. A gente vai falar sobre os diferentes tipos de ouro, porque agora tem rose gold. Didn't exist at the time your dad was around. What is rose gold? O que é isso?
Rose gold it's simply referring to the color of the gold. So what it is they have allotted more of the alloy mixture within. Now, if you're talking about Portuguese gold, the 19 and a quarter carat, they've added more copper in the alloy mixture to make it more pink. So beautiful thing about Portuguese gold, a lot of people think it's rose gold. It's not. It's a hybrid. It's not very pink like copper, but it's not yellow like the traditional North American 10, 14, or even 18 karat gold. So it's a beautiful mix between those two tones. And that's why it complements so many skin tones. I have very few people that I've put Portuguese gold on and said, oh, that doesn't look good on you. No, it usually always looks good on somebody.
Why would anybody say gold does not look good on me? That's like,
I don't know.
No, that's not
Well, you know
possible.
what? For one, I'm going to be honest, for a long period of time, I would say I was wearing only white gold and sterling silver. So just white for a really long time. And then it kind of cued in that it just doesn't look that great on me. I know I'm fair skinned, so I switched back to gold. I've always loved gold. But we're finding that a lot now too, that clients are going back to yellow gold. There was a huge period where people only wanted white gold and sterling silver. And then, there's a resurgence of yellow gold. And I just think it's because people see how it can complement your skin, whether you're really fair or you have dark skin, like it always looks great. Whereas sometimes white can be a little trickier. Yeah.
And we should remember too, white gold, there's a maintenance factor to it. You have to plate it with rhodium to keep it white. So if you're not looking for maintenance, then yellow gold 100% is more timeless.
And when you have white gold, people just think it's silver you're wearing.
Well, you know what? Back in the day, when, like, for instance, when my dad was selling silver, that wasn't the case. Silver back then was done raw, meaning it was very white looking. Most silver today is actually done with rhodium as well, which is the same plating that we put on white gold to make it white. So silver today can pass for white gold. It's been the technology that they use to finish it has really improved throughout the years. So it is far a higher quality now.
So it depends on your budget, I guess.
It depends on your budget, but silver relatively is always at a lower price point. So it's always budget friendly.
Right. So what is new? What are the trends in the, because you're always wearing 3 or 4 necklaces and and a mix. Explain to me. I mean, I know that's the trend, one of the trends now. But what is the trend? Explain exactly what is it that you're putting together.
So, I mean, we would say trends we've noticed, particularly within the last year, is we've noticed a lot of layering, whether that be for necklaces, for bracelets, so bracelet stacking, ring stacking, the more the merrier, essentially. Yeah. And people are being a lot more open to mixing different types of metal colors and also textures. And so we actually have a few examples that we could show you.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
That layering.
I mean, look at you. You're wearing gold and pearls.
Yes. So that's actually something that we noticed was gaining some popularity last year. It was this like resurgence of pearls. And I don't know if it had to deal with like Bridgerton necklace. I don't know what it was, but it was like people wanted to see more pearls. And we kind of had this feeling early summer of like last year. And so we were like, well, why don't we bring back the pearl necklace that I'm sure you have in your jewelry box at one point, or your mom or your grandmother has, and then layer it with other pieces that you might have. So for instance, myself, I have a freshwater pearl necklace on right now, which is kind of considered a choker. And I mixed it with a gold choker and pendant that I have. And this is actually how I like to wear my pearls, not necessarily by itself, but mixed with other pieces.
It looks great on you all the time. All the time.
Thank you.
The different ones. What do you have there? Wow, that's really long.
Oh, you know what? So I have what am I wearing? So I'm wearing a 20-inch necklace. So it's all about the lengths too. So trying to achieve that layered look, you want to be attentive to your lengths. So this is a paper clip chain. It's actually 18 inches, which should fit around here on me, but I've clipped it so that it's shorter. So I'm wearing it as a collar. And then I'm wearing a 16-inch beaded necklace. We've really opened up our beaded collection.
So that's beads. It looked like a pewter or something.
No, they're sodalite beads. So there's blue and periwinkle. There's lots of different tones to them. Most of our beaded collection, is under $100. They're all genuine beads. But the nice thing is that you can, if you have an old charm, an old pendant, anything that's already existing in your jewelry box, and you're looking to, really spruce it up or give it new life, put it on a beaded necklace, and you'll be surprised the new life it will take. So I just have a little Greek or evil eye charm placed on my beaded necklace, and then my 20-inch with my zodiac, and that's my layered look. So I have 14, 16, and 20 inches on.
Wow. So the zodiac, is that something that people are really still going for?
Absolutely. Zodiacs are always in. Yeah. Because it's so personal.
Yes, absolutely. I don't have one. I'm a virgin, so I have to go look at and see what that looks like. That looks like. So what did you have there to show me, Kim? And Kim, can I ask you if you can move back a little bit, because you're cutting off your head, and Mr. Pedro, you know how Caesar is?
Yes,
He's
I do.
He came in here and he said, Kim is cutting off her head.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I could have backed up earlier.
No, you're fine. You're fine now. Oh, that's a beautiful set there. Explain to me what it is.
Yeah. So again, the last year to 2 years, the biggest necklace that we have had here is the paper clip chain. And that is this pattern right here. So it's a very wide length chain. It does really well because it is somewhat unisex. But the beautiful part about it is that you can self-adjust it. Because the links are so big, you can close the clasp anywhere, and you can kind of just adjust the length as you go. So this one here is actually from a Montreal designer named Miss Mimi, who we work really closely with. And it is a silver gold plated chain. So that really helps with price point. And it's done with a coin pendant that's just, anchored at the bottom, which is really nice. Again, you can adjust the length. The second piece that we have here is a Baroque pearl. Again, going back to the pearl in a different format, something that's a little bit more contemporary. This pendant can be done on even a thin chain, but here we put it on a beaded choker, adding texture. So this one being an open wide link, and now here we've done a really condensed beaded. It just pairs really nicely together. And then I had to put in our very, very, very popular initial necklace. It's very subtle and dainty here, but we do a lot of promos for this. This is a perfect personalized item if you're looking to put your children's initials on a chain, your own initial. These are done in 14 karat gold. We use chains from Italy because they're just so well done, and we have a lot of stock of them. And we can just insert the letters, and they usually are done off to the side. So again, when you go to layer your pieces, you're working with a different flowing of the pieces and the layout. So you have off to the side, center, and down low. So this is just a prime example of how layering is such a strong trend right now, mixing textures and gauges of chains.
Absolutely. And I think it's great to show that, porque eu vou falar em português, porque as pessoas podem agora ir ver o que é que tem, que as pessoas têm. Estão aqui pessoas a dizer que sempre fizeram as suas compras no Liberal Jewellery, e podem ir ver o que é que tem, o que é que compraram já há anos, trazer essas peças para fora, talvez mandá-las limpar, que é difícil de limpar. A gente temos que falar sobre limpar o ouro e limpar, é difícil limpar isso, e depois talvez só comprar uma ou duas de diferentes tamanhos, mas usar tudo junto, porque para que é que as coisas estão na gaveta, não é? Se as pessoas não usam, não faz sentido.
E usando uma peça antiga num colar assim, feito com essas, like, the beads, right? Sim. Dá uma vida totalmente diferente para a peça, we just have a new, a new outlook on it, and it just gives it life, like I said. So you have to dust it off and experiment.
Às vezes não é preciso ir comprar alguma coisa, mas já tem alguma coisa em casa que até podem ter comprado no Liberal Jewellery, que pode ser utilizado ou num outro cordão ou da maneira que está, e precisa estar de um toque, uma coisa qualquer nele assim. Nele. Muito, muito bem. Então, the gold, the different things of gold. So you've got the regular gold, the white gold, and the rose gold. Is rose gold very popular?
Yes, it is very popular. It is very trendy, like people say, but it's been around for many years. So this trend is really going strong. I'll show you another example that we have here. And Raquel, as I said,
the earrings.
Yeah, these paper clip huggies, they do really well for us. And this is a great example of how now, you have options. So if you like the earring in rose, yellow, or white, it's here for your liking. So we really try to, when we can, if we can order it in all the colors, we really try to be inclusive because everybody has different tastes and different skin tones. And we just want to have an option for everybody. And Raquel has the same set, just set with pave stones for that extra little sparkle.
A little sparkle.
Always
Are
has
they
sparkle
so? Are
in your
they
life.
real diamonds? The sparkle.
No,
in
so
that?
these ones are set with synthetics. So they're set with cubics, these ones in particular, because these are also sterling silver. So in the white, the gold plating and the rose gold plating. And then they're set with the cubics on them. And honestly, these are so well finished. This Montreal designer that we work with, we've been dealing with her now for like over 10 years now. We started off, she also has a diamond line, which is stunning, but she wanted to bring a line of hers that was just much more accessible and one that was a little bit more affordable for those who want that beautiful finish, but don't necessarily want to pay the high price tag.
Right.
And this is it. This would be her alternative.
Absolutely.
And it is absolutely stunning on when you wear these. And the stones are actually hand set. So she really puts the care and the attention to her sterling silver as she does with her gold and diamonds.
Well, I can't wait for the store to open so that I can go in because I'm the kind of person I have to touch things.
I know.
Even though I've seen it on social media. Now you mentioned that type of stone. I was watching. I think it was one of the TV shows on CBC, and a Canadian manufacturer is manufacturing diamonds or a stone that is as good or looks as good as diamond. Have you heard of that? Do you know what it is?
Well, there's lots of
it's pressed coal anyway, apparently.
So there's a lot of different technologies that are out there that are making, whether it be synthetic diamonds, and now what we're seeing is lab-grown diamonds, which we have just started to work with as well. So those are CVD diamonds, and they are basically natural diamonds. And again, this is all about, these crazy innovative technologies. And it's creating diamonds in a controlled lab, in a chamber where they increase pressure and temperature, and they can create these diamonds. And they're completely real. They're made of carbon, just like a regular diamond is. It's just a difference being made in a lab or in the ground billions of years later.
Exactly. I saw that on Dragon's Den. That's what it was. They went and presented on Dragon's Den, and they got the dragons involved in it.
Oh.
Yes,
the dragons bought in.
They bought in. They bought in because they actually, their conversation was real diamonds are overrated.
Right.
Are they overrated?
You know what? I've seen so many diamonds, and when you can really appreciate the beauty, and every diamond is different, and when you can see into a diamond's personality, the facets and the light reflection, and even the little inclusions. I mean, we have little freckles on ourselves and we have blemishes. And when you can see that in a stone and know that that's naturally been there for billions of years, and just it took, a human to come in and properly cut it and polish it. And when you can appreciate that, you fall in love with the romance of it.
Absolutely.
And if you don't buy into that, then a lab diamond is great for you, or perhaps synthetic, like you've said. I mean, these amazing new technologies are always coming out, and we're always seeing new materials that are surfacing. So there's a little bit for everybody out there.
I know that at one point your father and you used to have a lot of great watches as well as part of the jewelry. Do you still carry that?
So unfortunately, we are ceasing the watch collection for various reasons, but it's been a lot of these watch brands, especially high up, they really love to carry their own lines. And especially for service and repair, they would like to offer those services. So as a jeweler, we want to be able to provide service for our clients because we're a small business. People come to us, they know Raquel, they know me. They want us to help them and us to service them. I don't want to send somebody out elsewhere and, not vouch for the service that they might have. So we're be seeing the watch collections, but we still have a lot of high-end watches actually on liquidation because, like I said, they're on clearance. Unfortunately, people haven't been in the shop up until now to see them. Starting next week, we're reopening, so you can come in.
Yeah, that's great. But you know, on social media, and so you've got Instagram. I don't know if you have Facebook. Do you have Facebook?
Yeah, we do have. Yeah,
and TikTok.
No TikTok.
No TikTok. You should.
TikTok.
Yeah, you know, some of your videos would do very well on TikTok, Raquel.
You know, I started with TikTok. I started,
and then I was like, I can't keep up. I can't. I felt very old very quickly, and I'm like,
yeah.
And then it just so happened that Instagram then introduced Reels, which is essentially they're very similar. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to stick to one platform.
Right.
And
it's good that you did that because people can see it. You know, you sabes apresentar like rings. You know, I've also seen you layering a lot of rings and they're very fine. I don't have any on because I need a manicure so badly. I can't.
Don't we all?
They're not opening up for another 2 weeks.
I know, don't we all?
Não. So, não tenho assim, mas eu gosto de vários anéis também. O que é que há de novo em anéis?
So we have a lot of, so these items are from Portugal. Essas são tudo feitas de ouro 19,4 quilates. So temos essa peça aqui embaixo que é feita de filigrana, tudo feito à mão.
Wow.
And it's like an art deco piece. Like it's so unique. And I'm just going to try to see if I can show you. And then this piece, maybe you've seen this one because this is a traditional item, but it's coming back and it is just like a black onyx stone, but it's so sleek. And I'll try to see if I can put this on for you. It just stands really nicely on your finger. It has like a really nice presence.
Yeah. That's a man or a woman's ring. It could be
both. It's a woman's
ring.
ring. But again, a unisex look is very popular right now. But like what you were mentioning with the stacked, all these thin rings up top, these are meant to be either worn solo or to stack it. So we have white gold and we have the like yellow gold, but they're all Portuguese gold, 19 and a quarter. But because they're so thin, I mean, they can be sold to a preteen or an adult. It just depends on how you want to style it.
Right.
And so, and just to add one more thing to those thin stackables, because these have also been doing really well for us. So these here are sterling silver as well, and they are also set with cubics. And these ones here are full eternity, which means that the stones can be hard to see.
I know, yeah.
All the way around, right? So something like this, for instance, retails for $60. So this is going, so this will give you a stunning look with your existing rings, even if you want to mix and match it with your gold rings too. Because it just, again, it has that really beautiful sparkle. So these have been doing really well because they're on point in terms of budget. And they've also come out with a rainbow style.
Rainbow is very in.
I saw that on your Instagram and I said I have to get that because I do have one similar to that, and I do have one that has, each one has a different color. So there's, I think, 3 or 4 of them, each one have a different color stone.
And they alternate?
Yeah, they alternate. Yeah, so sometimes I wear one, sometimes I wear them all, but that one is so beautiful. Very nice.
You'll notice that, I would say, come spring, summer, you're going to start to notice a lot of color. Really, it's going to be really on trend, whether it's color through colored stones, whether it's through beadery, you're really going to see a resurgence of that. And I think we all need a little bit of color.
We all need color
right now.
You know, eu quando estava-me a preparar para vir cá hoje, eu fiquei assim, mas o que é que eu vou usar? Eu vou estar com... Like, I just put these... I don't have much that's real stuff. But, you know, different little things.
Are you wearing pearls?
I'm wearing pearls. I'm wearing pearls and then I put on... This needs to be clean. Ok, vamos falar da limpeza, porque eu sei que eu tenho prata que nunca mais vou usar, porque está tão preta. You know, that kind of stuff you used to buy in the Caribbean when you go to Mexico.
We know.
Isso está tão preto que eu nem sequer quero tocar naquilo. Mas como é que se limpa o ouro, por exemplo? O que é que recomenda para limpar o ouro?
So typically for gold, we recommend not to actually purchase any of the jewelry cleaning liquids and such that you see, because really at the end of the day, all you need is a boiling kettle of water, gentle dish soap, and
A toothbrush.
That's all you need. And really, it is the simplest thing. You just want to create a really nice lather on your jewelry. So obviously, if you have a really nice, if you have a softer toothbrush, that's obviously best. Don't use toothpaste. Don't use that stuff. Just really, really gentle. Obviously, make sure that your sink is covered so nothing falls down the drain. Safe area. You need a safe cleaning area. Safe cleaning area. And then you just put the jewelry after you've created a nice lather, put it in a little sieve, like a tea sieve or a strainer. And then you just literally pour the kettle of boiling water on top and it'll just cut all the grease and the buildup. It's very gentle on gold and stone, so you don't have to worry about it doing any damage.
Well, you know, Kim had told me that years ago, so I have done some of the cleaning in that method. I don't know if I boiled any water. I think I just used the hot water from
As long as you stopped using the toothpaste, I am very happy.
Yeah, I stopped the toothpaste, but I used to do the toothpaste.
I know you did. You told me that on air, and I was like, oh, Nellie, no.
Well, you know, it brightens my teeth. What can I do? You know, I have somebody here asking, my wedding ring was from Liberal Jeweler in 1973. Wow, well, Teresa Santos. They're asking me if you can ship to the United States. You're going to have to go look at these comments after and answer them because people are asking questions about that. Hi, good night, ladies. So people are asking questions. So if you can ship to the United States, let them know. I can't remember who it was that said that. Facebook, what's that? Okay. Is there a Facebook or a website? Yes, you have a website, right?
Yes, so we are currently working on a whole new online shop. We're so excited to launch it. We have a website. You can go there now to browse as a catalog, but unfortunately you can't check out and kind of make your own purchases online. We're doing a lot of our sales right now via Instagram. So if you message us on Instagram, we're happy to help you, send you pictures or videos. We are here to help you as best as possible. But this spring, we have a brand new website. It is going to be user-friendly. You're going to be able to see everything so clearly. You're going to see a lot of our Instagram photos that we posted there. So you can see us wearing the piece. We're really going to try to help you visualize the piece as if you were in the showroom looking at it in person. So the new website's coming this spring. We're so excited.
That's good. So you would ship also within Toronto because some people are asking that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, within Toronto, obviously, and you've got the website. People, they bought their wedding bands 35 years ago at the store. And where are you located? Somebody just wrote 805 Dundas Street. So they're answering their own questions on Facebook, which is great. Yeah. So o teu pai começou num lado da Dundas, não foi no lado do norte da Dundas, na China?
Na China.
E depois...
agora, ela começou na 800 Dundas em 1970 e depois em 1975 veio para 805 Dundas.
E vocês ainda continuam?
Sim.
It's there. So
you're here.
You're there for sure. You're there. Vocês as montras, vocês têm duas grandes montras. Eu lembro-me que quando o teu pai era vivo, aquelas montras tinham tanto ouro, tanta coisa lá dentro que as pessoas ficavam até santinhos. Tinha Santo Cristo, coroas do Espírito Santo. E ainda tens coroas do Espírito Santo?
No, we don't have them now.
We don't have them anymore. Okay.
No.
Porque tinha tudo, tinha tanta coisa que as pessoas às vezes ficavam ali só a ver. Eu lembro-me de fazer isso. Ficar ali só a ver. Oh, vê este, vê aquele. You could spend half an hour to an hour on a window just looking at what he used to have in there.
I know. And you know what? Our windows, this is Raquel does such a great job with the visuals in our window displays. And in the last, 2-3 months that we've been in lockdown, where unfortunately clients haven't been able to come into the store, but we kept our windows very well put together, always replenishing merchandise because we have a safe curbside pickup area within the gate. It's about 20 feet of window space. So people can still window shop while they're picking up, which has been so nice for people because it's one thing for people to do during lockdown. So we still take a lot of time, and Raquel does an excellent job just making sure the windows are changed beautifully every season.
How long did it take you to adjust to the COVID way of doing business?
Oh, that's a tough
Because
question.
this was a shock to us like a year ago. Everything's gone down. So how long did it take you to say, okay, let's pick ourselves up and let's do this because the business has to go on?
Well, I think a lot of people were surprised that we were open the entire time. No one realized, like, we actually never really closed the shop. I was actually, when the whole closure had started, I was actually away on vacation in down south in Florida. And so I had rushed back. And then I had quarantined for 2 weeks. And then once the 2 weeks was up, I was back in the shop. There was no one at the shop. Like, Kim would obviously come in, but we weren't seeing clients at that point. And we really just got right back into business and really had to amp up the social and Instagram and just be tied to it all day, because that was the only form of communication that we had with our clients. So I think a lot of our clients were surprised that we hadn't closed, but it was like, you don't really have a choice. You just need to adapt and you need to keep going.
Absolutely.
Your small business, you got to keep going.
A small shop, and there obviously is there challenges. I mean, having to be on your phone all the time to communicate with the clients, but we want to make it the best experience for them. At the end of the day, you have to make it comfortable and you have to make it still an exciting shopping experience.
Yeah.
So we try to personalize it the best that we can. Right. We just adapted as quickly as we could.
Liberal Jewellery, a loja por si, é uma loja de mulheres, tem sempre são mulheres que lá estão. Quantas pessoas é que estão envolvidas no Liberal Jewellery agora? São o quê? 3, 4, 5?
There's 4 of us there right now, and it's all women-led. And we're very proud of that. And especially now during, this month of March and during this conversation. And it's a small family business. Like, it's a family business first and foremost. And now we're all women-led. We all get along. We all know what we have to do. We all love what we have to do. And so we just have a great dynamic at work.
Absolutely, and it's very visible on when you walk in, the attention that you get from all 4 of you.
Thank you.
All 4 of you. There's somebody saying, Nat Correa saying that she ordered a pair of gold earrings, and from Raquel helped her on a Friday, and she received them on a Monday. That's fast. I mean, I don't get stuff from Amazon sometimes that fast unless I have the Amazon Prime. That's pretty good.
All customers are Prime at our store. All customers. You don't have to pay a subscription.
That's good. What do you think your father would think of the way that you guys are running the business now?
That's a good question. I would think that he would be proud of how we've continued. I think he would be also wondering, maybe if he was still here with us, I don't think he would get the whole social media thing side of it. And he would probably be like, why are you on your phones? But I think he would ultimately deep down he was always a man that understood change, and he always adapted so well. If there's one thing I learned from him, is how quickly he could shift into a different year. Yeah. And back to the pandemic this past year, what has it taught us? How quickly can you shift into a new year? How flexible are you? And we did that all year. We changed various times to accommodate what was, being thrown our way. So I think he would have been.
Oh, I think something went wrong with your feed. Hopefully you'll be back soon. Might be somebody just made a phone call.
We have basically
exactly. Okay, you're back. You're back.
Pardon? Okay, we're here. Sorry.
We're back. Ok. Não, I just, e a tua mãe? O que é o papel da tua mãe neste momento? Ela está envolvida também, porque ela conhece muito bem o estilo, o gosto do cliente, que já são clientes também há 50 anos. Há pessoas que compraram, estou a ver aqui a Hilda, que eu conheço, a Gilda, que eu conheço muito bem. Ela comprou em 1971 o seu anel de casamento e o teu pai não estava aberto nem sequer há um ano ainda. E ela está aqui e agora vão para trás e comprem quê? Comprem as coisas para os netos, foi para os filhos e agora para os netos e tudo isso. Vocês ainda têm daquelas coisas tradicionais para a primeira comunhão, para o batismo? Do you have any of that stuff still available? That was something that was part of the original liberal jewelry.
Most definitely. I would still say that that is something that we always will carry, and it is something that I think we're known for, and we have a community that is very committed to, traditions and providing beautiful baptismal gifts, especially. And I think that our clients really look to us again, and as I mentioned earlier, this idea of like Portuguese gold and how it's just so appreciated from our clientele. And it's just been they've all kind of been raised with the traditional charms and bracelets and all that sorts that they want to pass the traditions on to their family. So that is definitely something that we still carry. It's even at times very hard to keep in stock because we go through it so often. And I'd have to say that's been the one challenge with COVID. We had placed orders that we had seen suppliers from Portugal in January 2020, and we hadn't received orders until November. So it would usually come within a month or two, and so everything was delayed. So even with this year, Portugal still a little, they've had their lockdowns, so production has definitely been very slow. So with that, we're still trying to restock a lot of those pieces, but we just have to be a little bit more patient. But they're coming.
Mm-hmm.
They're coming. Sure.
They're coming. So doing your business here, you two are, the corporation, and how do, for example, I don't know if this is a reality for you, but if you go to the bank for credit or something like that, how do they look at the two of you? Have you had that experience of having to do something of that nature, or even for the buyers, is there a line of credit that has to be used or something of that nature? And I'm just wondering if there's a bit of a not discrepancy, but a bit of a bias when it's someone else, that it's the female that's doing all the buying and all the credit and everything compared to the man going for it.
I don't think that has anything to do with sex, at least my personal experience. I think it's more of an age thing. I think we're relatively younger in comparison to maybe other people. So, it's more about like, well, are you experienced enough? But then when they know, like when we tell them how many years our business has been around, I mean, most people are usually like shocked.
Right.
So unfortunately, I can say I've never encountered that. It's more about, just being able to relate with, a supplier or another designer. And if they're male, usually we're fine. And usually we've never had any issues. It's more about if we just speak the same language, and that being jewelry, like really let's just play it as neutral as possible. So unfortunately we haven't had any issues like that, but people
that's good.
That we're relatively young, but
yes, it's because, and you're buying, millions of dollars of jewelry. So I was like, wow, who are these young people buying these millions of dollars of jewelry? Let's talk about diamonds then, because I actually think that diamonds and gold are cheaper now than they were in the 80s. Or is it just my idea? Because I remember that, a ring, now I have different choices of cost of rings that at one point I didn't. Has there been much of a fluctuation in the price of jewelry?
I mean, there's been a tremendous fluctuation in gold. I remember selling Portuguese gold at $37 a gram, and now it's coming in at, at the peak last year, it was $175 a gram. So, gold has definitely gone up. So that's not cheaper by no means. In terms of labor can be a bit cheaper because of the way manufacturing is done. Back in the 80s, most pieces were handmade. a lot of our pieces are still handmade, and obviously that is a bit more of our prestigious collection. But a lot of other pieces, I mean, they can be, molds are done and they are manufactured on a mass scale. So that's definitely changed. What we talked about earlier, stones, the technologies of like how stones are made. I mean, there's a lot more synthetics out there. They help the cost base as well. So I don't think it's definitely not cheaper, but you have a lot more option now than you ever have.
Right, like I can buy a ring for $60, and that looks like that was $700. That kind of a thing.
Manufacturing is more sophisticated.
I guess that's my perception is that it's not so much that it was maybe it was more expensive then because I didn't have the means to buy it that I can now buy it. So I'm looking at it, well, it's not that expensive anymore. But it's because gold now is at almost $2,000, is it? An ounce?
Yeah, probably over, yeah.
Yeah, a little over that. So it keeps going up and down. And that makes a difference to the jewelry that you have in stock, or does it make a difference to future jewelry buys?
No, it does make a difference because we receive so much new merchandise. It comes in and goes out so fast. So it's always changing. So we're always keeping up to date with gold prices. Mm-hmm. So for instance, like last year at the peak of COVID, it was at the highest it was. It has dropped since then. So we're always trying to stay as accurate as possible. But if something new comes in, it's going to come in at the new gold price at whatever that was locked in once it was shipped out. And we just have to make sure that everything in the store is relative. I mean, we're not changing prices of all of our merchandise on a day-to-day basis. So if you come in and we tell you, this is a really good deal.
Yeah.
You should get it.
Just get it. Get it. Yeah, just get it. Yeah, yeah. And especially if you come up to them and say, this is a really good deal.
Yeah.
Just take it. Kim, some people are telling me that they've had pieces designed by you, So talk about that kind of the work that you do. That the personalization. If somebody comes in and you can create something for them.
Yeah, I personally, I've grown a lot in that department. I handle a lot of the custom stuff, and it ranges from an engagement ring, and we're going to just make something that they want, and we start from scratch, and until the finished piece. And then it gets to the point where, people bring me old merchandise that we can either utilize the stones, or we can just restore or redevelop a certain piece. Or we can simply, melt down any old gold. We do buy old gold for store credit. And then you can buy a new piece, or you can use that credit to custom make a brand new piece for yourself as well. Mm-hmm. So for me, when I deal with custom piece, I'm really tailored to what you're looking for. So I always like to have a consultation with the person first. I'd like to know what you're looking for. I know your time is valuable. So when you come in to see me, I really want to have it filtered. I want to show you what you're looking for. And I will show you some new options as well, whether it be loose stones, some wax designs of certain models, or some finished rings. And then we can play around with setting, gauges, sizes. And then, if we have to do a little drawing, we can do that. If I have to send you a 3D rendering of the piece, I also do that as well. But really, the sky's the limit for custom design.
Absolutely. Now, somebody was just asking, are we allowed to bring you our gold and you make something? Yes, that was what the answer was that Kim just gave. You do take that. There's somebody has a Tissot watch that they bought from your dad many years ago. And see how they're remembering
nice to hear
all
these
of
memories.
I know. That's so neat. I'm just reading some of the things. Say, nice to know this. I have so much gold. You have so much gold, Teresa. Share it. This is the thing. You shouldn't keep it in a vault, in a drawer. Take it out, wear it. Wear it. And this is what I've enjoyed watching you ladies on the social media, is showing me how to wear it, because I've got different size things and I'm mixing gold with non-gold, and you can't tell the difference. There's different colors of gold in there, 2 or 3 different things, and that's the trend. That's really how to go about.
Yeah, that's the one thing too that I've often told our clients is that, you know, I almost find there are a few clients that I remind them what they have. They forgot what they have. True. Because they put it away in the bank or, you know, somewhere else, and they forget they have it. I'm like, don't you have that piece? And then they remember to take it out. I'm like, you could totally use this again and wear it with a different necklace.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or differently, or even the way that you style your clothing with a specific, like even if you're wearing an antique style of pendant or necklace, but you put it on with like just a beautiful, chic, modern dress, like black dress, you just change the entire look of the piece. So it's, you just like bring it out and make use of it. It doesn't do you any good if it's kept away in storage. Right, you know?
Absolutely. And one of the things that I know from you, it's not that I have lots of stuff, is that certificate, that diploma thing, the guarantee that you still giving those away with the pieces. Yeah,
we are.
They're very impressive.
We are. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, you're investing in a precious metal. So when you do buy gold from us, you're always going to get a certificate. Some people now opt to have it just saved on their client profile because we're trying to go as paperless as possible. Right. But the certificate has an image of the piece, description, and weight, and then it certifies the carat. So that, you know, it's nice for you to have references to the pieces that you own. But, you know, God forbid, if you ever had to do a claim with insurance, you're going to have proof of that item. So hopefully that's going to ease your claim process. Because again, you're investing in something that's valuable and hopefully you have coverage for it. And if you need it, that paperwork is going to help you.
Well, that's great because I've actually just gone through some, you know, when you're at home, locked down, you go through all the drawers that you have and all of a sudden I now have empty drawers, you know, which I didn't have before because I've got rid of stuff that I don't even know why I was keeping them.
Well, now it's time to buy new stuff, right?
Yeah. Well, no, they weren't drawers of gold. Okay, they were more like socks. Too many socks. Too many socks in the drawers. No, just, you know, paper stuff that you have. And I found the certificates that I got from the jewelry. To tell you the truth, I don't even know where some of the jewelry is, but I know where they are, but I haven't looked at it. I haven't looked at it. Now, you know, I'm looking at the pearl necklace that Raquel is wearing. I was in China in 2019 and we visited a pearl factory where they do, and I bought something there. And I was quite surprised of how inexpensive pearls were in China, and they were real, you know. So that has come down in price, hasn't it? The pearls. Somebody said to me the Chinese have destroyed the pearl industry.
That is up to opinion, but you know what? Unfortunately, most pearls out there have been farmed. So they're not just naturally being made in a mollusk at the bottom of the ocean and you just digging it up, extracting the pearl. So unfortunately, most are farmed. So, you know, there's pros and cons to everything. The pro of that is that, yes, it's dropped the price down. So the strand that Raquel's wearing is actually freshwater pearls, which, you know, many years ago was considered a lower quality level of versus cultured pearls. Cultured being, you know, the best type of pearl out there because they're perfectly spherical. They have consistent coloring. Freshwater pearls vary because they're not always round. They can be a little oval or mismatched. But now, because they are farmed in a more controlled environment, you have freshwater pearls that look like cultured, but they're still at the freshwater price. So this strand here, I believe it's under $200. I believe it's about $169.
Really?
I have it with a 14 karat clasp. So if you want the cultured, we have clients who still love the whole, you know, the culture and the Akoya from Japan. We have those. All of our pearl studs, for instance, like I'll show you this little set that I put together with a bunch of earrings and the bottom.
Nice.
So this pearl is the good quality Akoya pearl from Japan. We put it on a 14 karat back. This pearl set would be around $300 and something. So if you want that quality, we have it. But if you also want fresh water, we also have. So we really try to keep all the options open.
You know that third one from the bottom. So you've got the pearls and you've got that. Explain that to me because there's different tones in there. Is that a stone?
No, it's enameling. So it's all handmade. It's made in Portugal. It's 19¼ carat. And what they did is they took gold thread and they basically created florets. and they've lined the border around it. And then they inlay it with navy blue and white enameling. And so
this is beautiful.
It is. And we're waiting for the matching ring and necklace. We also have this earring in a dangle. So if you don't like a stud and you want it to just drop off the earlobe and have a bit of movement, we also have that version. This is one of our best sellers. We always stock it in different diameters, and we try to expand the collection. So we're hoping for more pieces later this spring, actually.
Yeah, well, I saw that on Instagram. I said, that looks fascinating. I didn't know it was a Portuguese. I didn't know it was a Portuguese piece. That's wonderful.
No, it's made in the area of Porto. There they still make everything by hand. And so you would pay a little bit more for labor there. But I mean, when you look at these,
I think pieces, we just sold some of the earrings. Okay, I was like, I love those earrings myself. Hey, Nancy, if there's a shortage, I get the first one.
Nancy, call us tomorrow.
Actually, this specific model. So probably there's a lot of viewers that are watching this and being like, I remember my avó had a pair and whatnot, because honestly, these have been around for generations. And as I mentioned, you bring old stuff back, and these have been some of our top sellers for girls in their 20s. Like, they just want to wear it again. You wear this with jeans,
with the white pearl and the beaded choker.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
I bought that in China, and it wasn't, it had the price of like $1,800 American dollars. No, $3,800 American dollars. And I said, you guys are nuts. So I got it down really, really cheap. I was very good at that. So it was no way it was $3,800 American, because I think I ended up buying the whole thing for $500 American. But you have to really bid them down. And so everybody was coming to me for me to, hey, go negotiate that one for me. But I find that it's very long. So say that I wanted to shorten it and do a choker size and then still have the longer piece. Will you do that kind of a service there, or do you have to send it out, or how would you do that?
We definitely always send everything out, because we work with so many trades and goldsmiths that specialize in different niches within the industry. And you're better suited as a customer, knowing that your piece is taken to the specific person that handles it. So our pearl distributor is also does wonderful work with restringing. So if you brought me your strand, I'd count all your pearls out. We would figure out your length, and then you would choose to string it to the length that you want. We do not in between each pearl, because if there was ever a breakage, you would only lose, or one pearl would fall versus the entire strand. Mm-hmm. So yes, we're supposed to do that. And that the turnaround time is usually 1 to 2 weeks.
Really, that's very good. Very good. I'm so glad I got to talk to you guys about this, because, a gente tem sempre a falar em coisas que são negativas, em doenças, em Covid.
I know.
E a gente temos que começar a falar em coisas que nos fazem bem, que a gente fica, psicologicamente, pôr um cordão, pôr um anel, pôr um par de brincos. Eu quando saio sem os brincos, I feel naked without
naked. Me too.
It's like, no, I need them, It's
true.
É estranho, mas para mim, I can go without a necklace or something like that. But the earrings and rings, but lately I've just took out all the rings, because I've lost so many rings.
Oh, no.
That's something that, how you're in an airplane and you swell up? Well, Smart Nellie actually put it, on the little pocket that's in front of you on the chair. Yeah. And then I just walked out, forgot all about it. And obviously it was too late. The cleaning lady had already cleaned up the whole place, I guess.
Oh, no. That is actually a story.
You have a lot of people that are saying that all of the Portuguese gold that they've ever bought was from Liberal Jewellery.
Oh, that's so nice.
Está na altura de tirarem isso para fora, olharem novamente e depois irem ver as novas caras do Liberal Jewellery e o que é que até dá sugestões do que é que podem fazer com isso, que há pessoas que têm fios muito grossos e muito pesados, que agora já não, e compridos, e já agora não se vê muito disso também, não é? E às vezes um cordão desses compridos e pesados pode fazer um par de brincos, um cordão e uma pulseira até.
Antigamente aquelas cordões que eram muito compridas, que era uma peça de herança, não é? Aquelas peças que a gente corta para fios mais curtos, não é? E pulseiras. E às vezes essas pessoas oferecem snatch, you know, you can get like, sometimes you can get like 6 bracelets out of a single cordon. So, you know, that is just come in and we're happy to give you suggestions. You know, we're here to, we obviously sell goods, but we have a service as well. So if you need help styling or repairing, we are here to help you, not just us, but the other ladies at the shop too.
That's a great suggestion, yeah, because, you know, you can, if you have 2 or 3 grandchildren and you have something that each one can have a piece of. Wow, that's an amazing
You already have
suggestion.
the investment. You've invested in gold. You have it. Work with it.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What's the most difficult part of your business?
Oh,
Working with her.
right.
Well, she doesn't get a word in, Kim. Let her working with her. Well, you know, there's the. What do you to you personally? What is the most difficult part of the business? Is there something in the business that comes up maybe once every 6 months that you say, "Oh, I wish," and don't say pay taxes because we all have to do that. But that you wish, it didn't. There's nothing. You love everything about it, what you do from day to night.
I mean, yeah, the work itself I love. It's just having time to keep up with it all. I think it's a lot. Like there's a lot of beautiful stuff with social media, but also people access us at all times of the day. So it's us, I think, learning how to shut it off. You know, like I have young kids. I have a family. So when I get home, I need to put my phone away and not look at that and focus on, you know, being a mom, being home and with my kids. Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So I think that's my challenge.
Yeah, there's definitely been some evenings where I've seen messages coming through and I'm still awake and it's midnight and I'm starting to respond.
Yeah.
And no, don't stop, because I'm like, no, they're not awake. They don't need to see this.
Yeah.
I'll message them in the morning. So it's really trying to, you know, divide, you know, your work life from your home life. And being a family business, that is something that I have to say within our family. The minute my father and my mom got home and we ate at the dinner table, it was no talk of business at the table.
Yeah.
There was no cell phones back then there either.
We weren't allowed to watch TV while eating dinner. There was no TV around us to be watching. It was just family time.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about business. Let's talk about our days and stories and whatnot. And that's just how we were raised. So now with so much being on our phones all the time, I would like to keep that tradition as well and just kind of separate those two things. But
talk about tradition. I saw on social media that Raquel, you got married in Portugal.
I did. Yeah.
Tell me about that. Like how, you know, how did that happen? Because you're born here, you know, you go there often because of the business, but the marriage in Portugal, the actual whole ceremony, tell us a little bit about it, just so people can get curious and jealous.
Sure. Well, I got married at the right time because I got married in June 1st, 2019. So yeah, you know what it was? It was, I always wanted a destination wedding. I always wanted my wedding to be a little different. And I knew that I wouldn't have everyone come to my wedding, but it was okay. I would rather something more intimate. And so I just, you know what? I had been to Portugal. You know what? I got married in Lisbon, and Lisbon was not, to be honest, my first choice, but I had been there maybe twice before. The last trip that I'd been was 2014 prior to that, and I just really loved it. There was something about it that I noticed had changed. Lisbon was just so much more vibrant and exciting, and it almost like cleaned itself up a little bit. And so I saw it in a different light. And then, you know, and then when I was engaged, and then I was thinking, okay, what about getting married in Italy or in France or whatnot? And I thought to myself, why not Portugal? Like, the weather is stunning. Like, it's beautiful. The food is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the funny thing is, my husband is not Portuguese. He had never been to Portugal. Right. But he was like, yeah, sure, let's do it. Like, he didn't think twice about it. And so we went, and it was a great success. It was a great party.
Yeah, it looked like it was at one of these old palaces.
Yes.
That
Yes, it was.
Where was it at?
It was Palacio Frontera, and it's in Benfica, actually. And so that was, I just wanted also a venue that had a lot of character, and I thought,
history.
And history. Yeah. I believe the palace has been there since the 15th century, so it's been around for a long time, and I wanted an experience for my guests, and I thought, if you're traveling all that way, I want you to have the time of your life.
It looked beautiful. It looked absolutely beautiful. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And your maid of honor was the lady next to you over there as well. Congratulations. Listen, ladies, I really want to thank you for doing this. I'm doing talks with different women during the month of March, and women in businesses, getting people to know who you are, that are not your clients, that walk in and didn't see you growing up and running around hanging on to your dad and your mom's pants in the shop. Now they know who is running Liberal Jewellery and doing an excellent job, and introducing us to the community to new ways of wearing our jewelry, new one or old one.
Exactly. We're here.
Absolutely. So I want to say thank you again. Say hi to your mom.
We will. Thank you so much.
Say hi to your mom. And Rosa, is it Rosa that who's the lady that's
Rosa is the watchmaker.
Watchmaker.
And she is still with us from time to time. She's there part time. And then we have my colleague Fernanda that's always there. And so we're looking forward to seeing any new faces or old faces that come by. Our doors will be open next week, so we'll be so happy to welcome you. And we want to thank you, Nellie, too, for inviting us. I mean, you're an example of a strong woman in business as well. And I really appreciate this outlet that you've given us.
No, I'm so glad that you guys continued on, because we all get concerned that a lot of small businesses in our community have closed down. They just decided, forget it, I'm not going to do this anymore, I'm closing down. And you guys did the complete opposite. You said, no, we're going to just embrace the change and go for the way that things are being done nowadays, and we're going to continue until bring the Liberal name for another 50 years.
There we go. Persevere.
Persevere, right. Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Good luck next week as you open up, and please do go into the Facebook page so that you can see all the different comments that people are going. That would be wonderful. Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Thanks, Nellie.
Bye. Thank you. Bye-bye. Now we're going to continue on. I'm going to actually put that video of the history again, just to remind people of it, okay? Before I finish off. But thank you. Have yourself a good evening. Thanks for making the time. Bye-bye. Tem sido interessantíssimo para mim. Não sei, espero que vocês também gostaram desta conversa, que aprenderam alguma coisa, porque isto é um negócio, não é? São duas jovens que estão a dar continuação. Podiam ter fechado a porta, que houve outras lojas deste tipo que fecharam, que disseram, pronto, já não posso mais, isto não vale a pena, vou fechar. E estas duas jovens decidiram que não, que iam fazer o melhor que podiam durante esta altura. Obviamente que não é trabalhar da mesma maneira que estavam a trabalhar antes, mas a gente tem que aprender a fazer coisas diferentes. Eu também não fazia nada através dos computadores aqui na minha casa para a televisão, e agora é assim que eu estou a fazer televisão, e é assim que eu estou a comunicar muitas mais vezes também com vocês. Eu só quero que a gente se lembre novamente do senhor liberal e do pai da Kim e da Raquel, que deu início a este negócio. Eu vou pôr este vídeo para as pessoas que não viram do princípio este vídeo sobre o Liberal Jewellery. sorry, eu estou a falar sem ter microfone, peço imensa desculpa, mas eu estava a dizer às pessoas que este live foi importante para mim, não só para apresentar a Kim e a Raquel, mas também para relembrar o seu pai, lembrar o senhor liberal que deu início a este negócio, que foi muito, muito importante para a nossa comunidade. Ele foi uma pessoa que ajudava muito naqueles anos, nem toda a gente podia ir comprar uma peça e pagar tudo, só deixava pagar as prestações, ajudava as pessoas a adquirirem o que queriam comprar, e depois ele contou-me várias histórias, como eu disse, ele vinha, quando eu tive um escritório perto deles para uma campanha eleitoral, e ele contava histórias. É pena não ter tido muitas das suas histórias gravadas enquanto ele esteve vivo, mas foi realmente um prazer conhecê-lo e de saber que as suas filhas deram continuação a este negócio e estão a fazer dele um negócio de uma nova geração, do novo século, do século XXI, para dar continuação também às tradições, e tudo o que está na moda hoje em dia mudou, obviamente, mas informação importantíssima também. Espero que gostaram de conhecer estas duas grandes mulheres da nossa comunidade com o seu negócio do Liberal Jewellery e dar continuação a uma empresa com 50 anos de idade, 51 que vai ser este ano feitos. Obrigada a vocês por esta noite, por esta companhia, e conto sempre com a sua companhia amanhã na televisão. Amanhã na Série TV, a partir das 8 horas da manhã, vamos estar com o programa Gente Nossa até às 9, e depois com o programa Bom Dia, que vamos também ter amanhã. Deixa-me lá ver. Sim, quer saber o que está? Temos Vinha do Pico amanhã no programa Gente Nossa. Vamos também apresentar o Facebook Live que eu fiz com o Victor Ruidores e com o Chico Ávila, também com a conversa que eu tive com a Liliana, também o Vasco, e ainda clipes dos romeiros do passado, porque nesta altura do ano os romeiros já andavam nas ruas na ilha de São Miguel. Isso não está a acontecer este ano. Vamos amanhã apresentar algum desses romeiros. Também temos uma conversa com o Jorge Pimentel, feita pelo Mátio Correia, que é o fotógrafo dos artistas, das estrelas, do paparazzi, não é um paparazzi, e vamos dar um passeio também amanhã até à Ilha do Corvo, ok? Comigo. Temos um programa excelente das 8 até às 9h30, só façam-me companhia amanhã, e depois eu vou informando quando é que vou regressar aqui. Segunda-feira vou estar aqui com um grupo de senhoras que são gerentes dos nossos clubes e associações na sua capacidade de presidente ou de uma ou vice-presidente ou até de presidente da Assembleia. Vão estar comigo para a gente falar sobre o movimento associativo e o papel da mulher nesse movimento na nossa comunidade. Um beijinho a vocês todas. Boa noite. Estás a ver? Eu tive bateria até ao fim hoje. Tchau, bye bye. Até amanhã na televisão.